All right, it is 7 o'clock on Thursday, February 13th. This is the regular council meeting for the city of Alburnett. We will go ahead and call this meeting to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's cool.
You're gonna need to mute and turn your audio off. All right. Then I'll do a roll call. Counselor Trum,
Present.
Counselor Bosenberg,
Present.
Counselor Sukup,
Present.
Counselor West.
Present.
Let the record, Counselor Myers is absent. Let the record reflect that we do have a quorum to conduct business tonight. With that, I would seek a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Moved by Bosenberg. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by West. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries. Brings us to the sheriff's report, page 2 of your packet. We do have an officer with us tonight. Welcome.
Good evening, I'm Deputy Williams. Here to report that we hit the required hours of 43 within the city and had a total call for service of 34.
Wonderful. Any questions for the deputy?
Hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Stay warm and safe.
All right, we'll do.
I will note, just for y'all's information, the sheriff sends us the report for the packet on Monday of the week of the council meeting. They resend it on Thursday. I did tell Vicky that she didn't have to put a new one in the packet. So if you ever want the most up-to-date report, you can request it from Vicky. So what you have may not match exactly what he said, only because this is from Monday. So there's that. All right, that brings us to citizen comments. We have two types of comments here in the city of Alburnett, those for agenda-related items and non-agenda related items. We do ask that you state your name and address clearly for the record and limit comments to 5 minutes. Do we have any comments on agenda-related items? All right, hearing none. Comments on non-agenda related items? Also none. We will update the record to show Counselor Myers arrived at 7:03. Welcome, sir. All right, that brings me to my mayor's report. Second. Short report this month. So first and foremost, Mac, thank you for getting the snow wall cleaned up. Really appreciate it. It was kind of an extended event. But the roads look nice and appreciate your dedication and getting out and doing that. I do have one ask for council. I meant to put it on the agenda and I do apologize that I forgot, but you could shoot me an email. So we have gotten, Counselor Myers and I attended the 3DE event that we got invited to last month, I believe it was, or a couple months ago, over at the school. They're doing 3D, it's three-dimensional education through junior achievement within the high school. And they do case studies, and then at the end of it, they do a culminating event, and they invited all of us to come to that. After that event, we were talking to some of the teachers and the different staff that are involved with 3DE, and they are interested in a case study. So 3DE is just for the freshman class this year. They'll grow into it. They'll go all 4 years. So they have to start as a cohort their freshman year. And the school is looking for a case study opportunity for the junior class. So it'll be scaled down a little bit and it'll only be during their English class. And they wondered if the city had anything that they could do that case study on and kind of help give us some recommendations for some things. So I can share out the documentation. They do need an answer kind of quickly. So I told Counselor Myers and I chatted and I said I was going to flip through our old not the capital improvement plan, what's the other one? Comprehensive plan. And kind of see what sections are in there and see if maybe there's a section we can pull out to ask for their help. So maybe it's around where could we put a business district or, those types of things. So if you have any other ideas, mull it over. I know I don't need an answer right now, but think about it and then you can shoot me an email. Again, I'll send you the example case study that they sent over following the last event, but seems like a cool opportunity and we'll get kids involved in city operations. And so, did you have anything to add to that?
No, I do think, just in what I've been thinking about, like the commercial, development, I think, them getting involved in sort of surveying, finding out, what type of businesses are people that, what would they want here, and what's feasible and how would you go about getting them? So, something like that, where they're almost like a junior chamber of commerce, trying to drum up business, putting that on their plate as a project. So,
Perfect. Well, look for more from me. I think they needed an answer by end of next week, kind of what we were thinking. I think it was the 18th they were looking for that. So the sooner the better, but kind of think it over. And I hate to not use an opportunity to get some free research done for us. So last update on the mayor's report is on nuisance. We had last meeting, we had 2 outstanding. One of those has been resolved. The other, we did have court hearing on January 27th that we did get a ruling in our favor. The defendant was given an additional 30 days to clean up the property, so we will continue to follow up with that with the assistance of our attorney. So that is my mayor's report. Moving on to council. I'll start with Councilor Trump.
Nothing.
Councilor Bosenberg.
Nope, just wanted to thank Max for your work on the streets. They look good. So,
Councilor Suka.
nothing at this time.
Councilor West.
No.
Councilor Myers.
Nothing at this time.
All right. Brings us to written reports, and we will start with the fire department. I think we're recognizing Verna, right? You're our fire department representative.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to start with the chief?
go ahead.
You guys got his report in the packet. He covered probably just about everything for the month of January, for sure. So we had a lot going on. We're doing pretty good with getting grants lately. We're working on getting grants anyway to get equipment. And one of the things that we did get purchased not very long ago was this device called a vendor to help get people up off the floor in tight spots. And we saw Center Point Ambulance had it, and it was like, golly, that's would be a blessing for us. Because it's a lot to get somebody up off the floor in a tight spot. So those are kind of the good things. We do have CPR scheduled with the senior class for April. And it'll be a 2-day event because their class is quite large. So it'll be a 2-day event for them. And along with their CPR session, they'll be having, we'll have Lynn County Sheriff's Department here, and they'll talk about an hour during lunchtime, I think, basically on whatever's happening with the sheriff's department and making relations with the kids so that they're not afraid of them and that kind of thing. And we have a fire protection session that we have the kids go into. Like if you're not in the CPR session, then you'll be on the other side for fire protection. I think that's basically about all I know at this point, unless TJ's got something else to add.
No, nothing more than it's in there. Thanks for getting that email, Joyce.
Yeah, sorry, I own my options on that. I'm like, how many reminders do I need? One more reminder. So you should be set up with your email address now, so. I do see you have in here, there's a leak on one of the trucks, so get me information, we'll put that out for bid. Follow our process and
Yep.
see what comes in.
And I was gonna say too, that we're securing our computer system so that it cannot be just broken into and helped. People just can't get into whatever. So we have free labor for that. So we're getting that secured, and that's a big deal. especially because all of our reports are in there and we can't just let those be public knowledge.
Perfect. Any questions for the fire department? What training do y'all have coming up for yourselves?
What is,
We got the railroad company coming out, railroad enforcement,
that's next week, right? That's coming.
that's coming up next week. Yep, and then Help Us Fallen, I believe is.
This one will be the medical training and I've got that and that's gonna be a trauma base. Help I've fallen and I can't get up. Typical, we get a lot of those. So that'll be a trauma session and. We got
And then the 20th of March, we have Lynn County Firefighters Association
Yeah.
for hosting.
Nice.
And we have the weather spotter thing coming in too. So April, I think.
We hosting that as well? Cause that was usually
We
at,
do not host
Okay.
that. That is at,
The old St. Mark's. St. Life.
that's what I thought.
quite a few of us usually attend that.
It's not just fire, so if anybody wants to go.
Anybody can go. A nice program. Learn a lot.
What date is that?
I'll tell you.
I'll get a flyer through EMA. I can share it over.
Okay, okay, she can share it.
Starts at usually at 1 o'clock or 1:30 and
Yeah,
goes
1
to
o'clock.
3.
Yep. That's April, what? It's March. It's March 22nd at 1 o'clock
Saturday, right?
at Faith Life Church on C Avenue.
Thank you. I believe that's open to the public as well.
It is,
That's,
it
yeah.
is. And EMA is usually there too.
They put on a very good program. You'll learn a ton.
Wonderful. All right, any other questions for the fire department? Yep. Brings us to city administrator. Anything to add to your report?
No, not, anything that wasn't covered, but I'm happy to report. I'm starting to check things off my list. I feel like January and into February was a pretty productive, month for me. I learned some things, about working with the DOT on, the rail crossing, through Alburnett and, working on getting that, there's a grant for federal funding to put in, the gates that come down over the railroad crossing, so, I submitted that yesterday, Wednesday. Any questions for me?
Thank you. Public Works, anything to add to your report?
No, I don't think so.
You will see, he had it under additional updates, the 550. We did have to authorize emergency repair, so that's already in the claims for this month. So he did run that by me, has my written authorization for that. It went down and thankfully we found someone knowledgeable who could help us get that repaired literally right before the storm hit. He got parts on Tuesday, so did us a huge favor. Yes, we'd have been in some trouble without the big truck for that snow, so.
Long night without the big truck.
Any questions for Mac? Are we still on well 3?
Yeah, still waiting on results for well 2.
Okay.
So just staying on 3 for now.
Sounds good.
This was the first time that you had to move snow since the big snow last year, right?
We had that one earlier this year that we had like a couple inches, but yeah, the first big snow in a while, yeah.
How'd it go?
Good. Yeah. Just picked away at it. I was kind of maintaining during the day of while it was snowing and I went home for a while, took a break and went back out when it quit snowing.
Looks good.
Thanks.
Did most of the people follow the snow ordinance?
Yeah, there wasn't many cars out.
Wasn't many?
I did see a lot of blowing snow into the roads and pushing across the roads and stuff like that, but no, there wasn't hardly any cars, so that was good.
Good.
And we'll keep an eye on sidewalks. From what I've seen, looks good, so. All right, anything else for Mac? All right, we'll move on to city clerk. So you've got Vicky's report. I did have her add. So you've also got the treasurer report, profit and loss. Quick glance, profit and loss, we're doing pretty good, except sewer's getting close, because of some of the repairs that we had at the lift station. But I think everything else looked pretty good. And then on page 12, she did include, just for y'all's information, the annual employee earnings summary. So we are required to publish that annually. She received recommendation from neighboring clerks to do that after W-2s. That way, you know, you've got everything in the system and it's consistent with the employees' records. And so she just provided that for your information. No action needed there. So that will get published. And then page 13 is the budget timeline. I think we talked about it at the last meeting or alluded to it. The Gazette has announced that starting this month, they are only publishing 3 days a week. And so that does impact when we get out our notices. And so I had Vicky add the submission deadlines for the Gazette just to make sure we're getting those published in time. Just have visibility to that alongside all of the other important dates. So we are on track. We could talk about it more during new business, but we are going to need one more workshop. So we'll talk about that when we get into new business. Any questions on the clerk's report? Hearing none, moves us to the consent agenda. I would seek a motion to approve.
I moved.
Moved by Myers. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sukup. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries. All right, brings us to new business. Item A, closed session pursuant to Iowa Code Section 21.5, subsection 1, subsection C, to discuss strategy with counsel in matters where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the government body in that litigation. We do have our attorney, Holly Corkery, here with us tonight. Welcome, Holly. Good to see you again. You're gonna have to guide me through this because we don't do these very often. So I believe before we even motion, we motion and then I ask for your opinion on whether we go into closed session. Is that correct?
Either way,
Okay,
but I can give you my opinion now that yes, this would be an appropriate matter to go into closed session. Under the, as you mentioned, under 21.51C.
perfect.
Yes, then you'll motion and do a roll call.
Awesome. Do I have a motion to enter into closed session?
So moved.
I've got a motion by Sukup. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Bosenberg. Roll call vote. Counselor Trum.
Aye.
Counselor Bosenberg.
Aye.
Counselor Sukup.
Aye.
Counselor West.
Aye.
Counselor Myers.
Aye.
That motion passes. We are officially, that makes us in closed session. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The closed session was closed at 7:36. Following that, I can just go into the motion, right, Holly? We're good? We're ready?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, you could do a motion to move back into open session in front of everyone on.
okay. I would seek a motion to go back into open session.
So move.
Moved by Bosenberg. Do I have a second?
Sorry.
Second by Trum. We'll roll call that one, I guess, for fun, just to make sure we're covered. Counselor Trum.
Aye.
Counselor Bosenberg.
Aye.
Counselor Sukup.
Aye.
Counselor West.
Aye.
Counselor Myers.
Aye.
That motion carries. All right, I would seek a motion to approve the proposed settlement agreement resolving all issues in the threatened litigation against the city by Chris Shelby, recommended by the city's insurance carrier to avoid the cost, expenses, attorney fees, and risks of litigation, and not because there was any wrongdoing on the part of the city or its employees, which alleged wrongdoing will be expressly denied in the settlement documents.
So moved as read.
Moved by Sukup. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Myers. Roll call. Counselor Trum,
Aye.
Counselor Bosenberg,
Aye.
Counselor Sukup,
Aye.
Counselor West,
Aye.
Counselor Myers.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. That brings us to new business B, set date for FY 26 budget workshop for the week of February 24th. Please get your calendars out. So primarily, Vicky and I had hoped to have the actual budget sheet from the Department of Management ready for your review tonight. Unfortunately, we ran into just some things we weren't quite sure of, and our mentor Connie was out this week, and so in respect for her vacation and time off, I told Vicky we'd just do one more workshop to walk through that. Unfortunately, it has to be, well, not unfortunately, but just in accordance with the timeline, it has to be to the county before our next meeting, and so we wouldn't have an opportunity to outside of having another budget hearing. So long way to say, looking at the week of February 24th, is there any evening, should be relatively short one. We just want to look at it one more time and go over anything else that we might learn from Connie in regards to the budget process. Any nights that don't work for anyone?
Said week of the 24th.
Yes, because we're gonna finalize it next week with Connie. She's out the rest of this week. So we're looking at the week of the 24th. I am good about basically ending that. I'm thinking of 6 p.m. and a good should be under an hour.
Day night would work best for me. I would agree, that works for me.
I'm open Monday.
I already have it on my schedule at that time.
Well, look at that.
You know.
All right. Well, I would seek a motion to, I think we did it by motion. Motion to set a budget workshop for Monday, February 24th at 6 p.m.
So moved.
Moved by Sukup. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trum. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, that brings us to page 20 of your packet. Resolution 02-2025-01, awarding the fire extinguisher inspection and maintenance contract. So we did receive two quotes. The first from Hawkeye Fire and Safety. What I will have you kind of look at is just the top part. The top like 3 or 4 lines is for the inspection piece. So it is $156.25. That is for all 23 of our fire extinguishers. The bottom portion is should they need to replace anything. They've just given us their pricing. So when you're looking at it, it is the $156.25. And then we've got one from Summit Fire Protection. And all they quoted us was for the 23, the inspections for the 23 fire extinguishers, and that is for $207. Summit does have a term on theirs, a 3-year term. We have gotten verbal confirmation from Hawkeye that they will honor that pricing for 3 years as well, their pricing for 3 years. So their person that writes their quotes was out the rest of this week, so we just didn't get an updated paperwork. We can present that to council when we do. Any questions? I will say, in addition to being the higher bid, we have worked with Summit before and they've not been very responsive. We do believe that's who did our previous inspections. And while I think we all thought we were under contract, like those haven't been done in a while, so.
I previously have worked with Hawkeye and they've been great, so. Never had a problem with them.
You can, TJ, do you know if that includes the trainer extinguishers?
No, that doesn't include trainer ones, because they're already like partially depleted.
Well, I mean, to refill them.
Oh, no, it's part of it'd be part of the recharge.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got pricing to
So,
recharge.
yeah.
The 156.25 is just inspections,
They're all that's what we have at the station.
Okay.
the annual certification. But yes, we do have a quote then to do that additional work.
You ready for a motion?
I will read the resolution first. All right, if there's no other discussion, questions, resolution 02-2025-01 awarding the fire extinguisher inspection and maintenance contract. Whereas the city of Alburnett, Iowa requires regular inspection and maintenance of fire extinguishers located on city property to ensure compliance with fire safety regulations. And whereas the city has solicited quotes from qualified providers for the provision of fire extinguisher inspection and maintenance services in accordance with applicable safety standards. Whereas notice to contractors was duly given, and whereas 2 quotes were received as follows: Hawkeye Fire and Safety, 156.25, and Summit Fire Protection for 207. Whereas the city council has reviewed the quotes and finds it appropriate to award the contract to the lowest responsible contractor, now therefore it be resolved that the city council of the city of Alburnett, Iowa does hereby award the annual fire extinguisher inspection and maintenance contract to Hawkeye Fire and Safety in the amount of $156.25 to be paid annually for the duration of the contract. Be it further resolved that the mayor and or designated city officials are authorized to execute the necessary agreements to carry out the terms of this contract. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 02-2025-01? Moved by Myers. Do I have a second? Second by Bozenberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries. All right. Planning and Zoning Commission appointment. So we do have one seat up for appointment on the Planning and Zoning Commission. We did extend an application. It was posted on Facebook as well as the city website. So that is something, that's a practice we're going to use going forward to help collect anyone who may have interest in these commissions. So we do now have that posted, and it was propagated ahead of this. Did we receive any applications? All right, we did not receive any written applications, any interest otherwise, phone calls, anything like that. All right. And we have confirmed that the current committee member is interested and willing to retain that position. So for planning and zoning, I would seek a motion to reappoint Jim Carver for are they 4-year terms? Do this. Hang on. Well, so those were different because of how we set it up the first time, but you want to know what? I put it on the form, so 5 years. For 5 years, look at that. So I'd seek a motion to approve Jim Carver to be appointed to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a 5-year term.
So.
Moved by Sukup. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by West. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, same motion for Board of Adjustments. We have 1 seat open for appointment. Did we receive any applications or interest yet to City Hall? All right. We have confirmed that the current member, Christina Smith, is interested and willing in keeping her seat. So with that, I would seek a motion to approve the reappointment of Christina Smith to the Board of Adjustments for a 5-year term.
So moved.
Moved by Bozenberg. Do I have a second?
Right.
Second by Trum. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, get back to my packet. Discussion and possible action regarding fire department annual testing required for physicals. I'm gonna be honest, I did not get a summary of this, so I'm going to turn that over to Counselor West.
So biannually, isn't it? We are required to get basic check over for our insurance reasons. So they do like basic EKG, breathing test, audio, things like visual. And it's up for this year. So, we've always went through MedPass for mobile health. They're the ones that reached out and said we were due, so. That's all
Okay.
I know on that, so. All the testing they do is listed, the vision, hearing, urinalysis, but it's not a drug test, blood pressure, an EKG. The pulmonary test, which is your breathing test, and the respiratory, or the medical questionnaire. And it'll actually be a little lower than what's quoted, because we won't have 25 total members doing through, so.
I think I've asked this, but what information do you get back? Just if anyone
I haven't
doesn't
seen
pass,
it.
you get a pass fail, right? Like,
Yeah.
they don't give you back, like, everyone's.
I think they give
Yeah,
that,
you will have something for each and every one
Yeah.
of us. It'll all come in a packet with all of our information and go straight to him.
Okay,
That goes in the personal.
Actually, it's not in the personal file.
yeah, I hold on to.
sounds like something we've gotta do. Just curiosity, are there other, do we know of any other providers that perform this service?
Not that I'm aware. I'd have to check with Ron and see if he knows of anyone else, but I think this is the ones that we've always used, so.
So for
I think
continuity's sake,
They go, they,
Yeah,
sure.
We do a lot of the other smaller departments around here then. Okay,
They come on site.
yeah, they come to us.
that's worth something too.
Do you know, are they on the same cycle, are we on the same cycle as other departments, or
I think
do they
us.
try to get us all at once?
Because I think it's us, Central City, Center Point, Walker Mills and Walker. Probably. Yeah, like everybody here on the northern half all gets it around the same time.
Oh, okay.
any other questions?
That's actually slated for April 2nd and 3rd. That was their next closest date they had available, so.
I would seek a motion to approve the quote from, is it MedPass or Mobile Health Services? Both.
It's mobile health.
Seek a motion to approve the quote from Mobile Health Services for the annual fire department physicals in the amount of $5,020.
So moved.
Moved by Asuka. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trum. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Carries. All right, TJ, I may need your help on the next one too. Discussion and possible action regarding group accidental death and dismemberment policy for the fire department.
So the League of Cities, is that right? Is
Sounds right. Yes,
that right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
They, got with True North and got accidental death and dismemberment for volunteer fire departments. It's also a law that recently changed, to have that available to department members. It's a minimum amount. I believe it was $250 was the minimum, so if one person signed up or 10 people signed up, it was gonna be $250, but if what you got over that $250, then that's how much it would cost per person. So, the total for, at the time that we did this was 25 members, was the $290,260. That's yearly, and it's for $20,000 for any accident, any claim that's made,
Incident.
yeah. This is paid through, I believe the league, but it's paid through the city. So it's ran by the.
So the
the
league
cities.
carries the policy.
Yes,
We're just an insured on it.
yes.
That's what it sounds like. Okay.
Yep, so anyone 70 or older, they didn't give us the details on that up front. So it might be a little lower than what this is quoted as. Is 70 and older aren't covered, even if they are an active member on the department. There was some other requirements, but everyone else fit within it, so I think we only have 4 members that didn't fall in the category, so.
And while this isn't a very big amount, Nikki and I went back and forth about whether it just goes on claims, but we wanted to bring y'all's attention to it and the benefit that we're offering able to offer for our volunteer fire department members. Any questions for TJ? Alright, hearing none, I would seek a motion to approve the purchase of accidental death and dismemberment insurance through True North via the League of Cities in the amount of $292.60.
So moved.
Moved by Trum. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Bosenberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Carries. All right, that brings you to page 26 of your packet. Old business, discussion and possible action regarding renewal of the sheep grazing agreement. So we tabled this last month. We did ask Mac to provide documentation on, because you had mentioned upgrading the mower, which again, we haven't, when's the last time? It's been several years since we've purchased
Oh, yeah.
that equipment, so. Do you know how many hours the current mower has on it?
I don't.
Okay. See, I ask you all these when I need to ask you ahead of time. So you have that information in your packet. Along with some brochures. And then he did also provide some pictures. From the site, kind of showing what the DNR looks at as far as the trails that have been cut and those types of things. So that goes all the way through page 34 of your packet. What questions, conversations?
So Mac, on this first and second photos you've got here, we've got a nice straight path. Is that from the sheep then?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is so straight, it almost looks like a vehicle driving down there. That's what I wanted to know.
Oh, that's good from the sheep.
And you know, on that second page, there's a set distance apart. It's almost like it's mechanical the way it's in the picture.
And then what's the DNR say anything about that? About use of animals or?
They frown upon it, and then that, they gave us we've received multiple non-compliance letters because of damage from over the years.
I would say one of my biggest concerns with the non-compliance is, we've been fortunate. The last 3 years, we've been on Kenny's license. He's got a lot of experience working, responding, those types of things as Mac's working towards his license. I just don't want to give any reason for.
Problems.
Yes.
Well, I would say in the beginning I think it was a good idea. And it did help keep the grass down, but, if we do purchase a mower and that's another reason why, you can't mow it with the mower we have. No, but it's just too dangerous, so. And I think when we started this, we weren't aware that, or cognizant that paths would be a problem with the DNR, so I guess, with a little more experience, maybe we're changing our minds on some things.
I think there's two prongs to this tonight. The first is whether we choose to pursue a renewal of the sheep grazing agreement. The second is if we do not, what do we do equipment wise? So I guess we'll start with the first. Pleasure of the council. Do I have a motion to renew the sheep grazing agreement with Sloan Farms, right? Sloan Family Club Lands, thank you. All right, hearing none. Do appreciate you. I like the sheep, but oh. All right, so we will not be renewing that agreement this year.
Okay, I got the wagon and stuff that are out back. And then the stuff I'll get out of there as soon as weather's permitting me and not tearing up the grass and the stuff like that's all right.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
No problem. Thank you.
Nope, no problem.
Thank you, yeah.
If it changes in the future, let me know.
We sure will.
We-
Yeah. You'll be our first call.
Okay, thank you.
So,
you bet.
thank you.
Thank you.
So that leads us to discussion of the purchase. I'm not gonna ask for a motion tonight. I do know the one particular model that Mac is interested in. They only have one left. Bit of a situation in that we don't have enough money left in the sewer budget. We only have like $6,000 left in our sewer budget because of some of the repairs that we had to do. So even if we split this with roads and bridges, the majority of it really is for sewer. So I would seek council's opinion slash even maybe make a motion on whether there's two avenues here. We can reach out to the supplier and see if they're willing for us to secure the equipment and pay for it in July. Some have done that. February feels a little far off to be making that deal. But I don't know, maybe they'll be willing to just know that it's been sold, because we did budget for this in FY 26. Or we can pursue a budget amendment, like, it's not the end of the world, it's just gonna take a couple of months to get that done. Because we have the public hearing and the whole deal, so.
And we got one left out of three. They had three, now they only have one.
These are the 2024 models, so they're new, but they're at a cheaper price because they're trying to get rid of them.
Oh, okay.
Because they got the new models in, but the new models are more expensive.
Yeah, and there's no difference probably,
No,
is there?
they're identical. They're just trying to clear off their lot and get the new ones in, so.
Would they entertain like a split payment,
Put some money down
put
on it,
money down?
make it work
as
in our
a-
budget. And then the rest in the next budget.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna be honest, that sewer budget, also includes wages and other things, so I don't even think we can expend the 6,000. I could talk to Vicky, but I wanted to see how it went here tonight. We can call them and kind of see where their heads are. A lot of times suppliers will work with us, but February just feels a little
What
far
kind
out.
of value do we have in the other mower if we sell that?
Said, I wasn't going that route. I was assuming we would keep that one.
Or you keep that one?
For future and as a backup in case.
A lot of mowers. Well, that is two, but if get busy, we get a heavy rainfall or grow season, one, you know how it is to trade.
I assume we'd keep it and then maybe,
Okay.
potentially some year in the future have help, at least mowing in the summertime to be able to run two of them, but.
We could at least find out trading value, see if it's worth, cause I think we've done that before where, well, you're only gonna give us $500 for it, we might as well keep it type of
Yeah.
thing, so.
That mower doesn't have that many hours on it, though, does it?
Well, it probably does. We haven't bought one in,
I think it's pretty, so I think it's like 2020. or something like that. It's got a few hundred, under 500.
That's. Yeah, that's not much. Not more.
And I don't know, I mean, even we had that tractor, I don't know, like you said, you know, if, you know, do we keep it or we get rid of it? You know, we don't use it. Not, I mean, just sitting there, that's not good on them if they just sit, you know, sitting there, so it can be more detrimental to us, so. When we have an option there, you know, Mac sees fit that we could get rid of it and not need it. That might be an option.
I'd love to jump at the price of the older model, but I just don't know how we can turn that money out.
I mean, we have fund balance. It's not that we don't have it. We don't have the spending authority in this current budget. So we definitely could do a budget amendment. I mean, we've got fund balance in sewer. We just don't have the spending authority in the FY25 budget available to spend it, if that makes sense.
We just have to move the money around.
We just have to do the budget amendment to work it in there. So it's an option. How about this? We'll take this month to get with the supplier, see what they're willing to do, maybe get some quotes on trade-in value for, maybe not, maybe the tractor. We'll talk about it and then we'll get with Vicky.
Any other vendor that we've looked at that,
His report said he called two and this was the,
For a Cub Cadet, it's either this or Vinton is the next closest dealer, and I called them 4 or 5 times and they wouldn't give me a call back. So, not a good sign usually.
yeah,
And they're 45 minutes away. To look at trade-in and possible payment, like if they would willing to
I mean,
hold or.
Take some
we
money.
know we can swing July. It'd just be a matter of, if they're gonna want something sooner. So we'll have to talk to Vicky about. So I think during FY26 budget even, we looked at splitting some of it with roads. And I do believe we have roads budget. But it's definitely, it's not, I mean, just to be honest, it's not all roads. It's gonna be majority sewer, so. And we're probably gonna have to project wages and everything anyway, so we may need a budget amendment in that fund as it is. And I don't know, I'm gonna scroll back up if you wanna go back to the P&L.
Did you get?
Cause I'll check with Connie. So here's the other thing, on all the other budgets, they're worried about like the 500 level, community and economic development, 600 level, 700. So if this is just the 800 level, the business type activities, we're good because we've got budget available within business type activities. But I think for these, they look individually at water, sewer and stormwater.
Okay.
So
To give us a feeling of how good, if this is a good deal, did you get a price on a newer model that's comparable to this? Are they, you know?
yeah, that's in
Yeah.
your packet.
that's like the 20.
Oh, that's a
it's
22.
23,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's a slightly different model too, isn't it?
Front of me, I guess. Both the quotes that I had were for this 2024 model.
Yeah.
They're the SDL is a
Right, yeah,
higher,
okay, that's how I took
higher
it.
end.
You know, I wonder how much higher a new one would be, so.
You're saying what the 18,001 is?
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah,
Correct, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's really gonna affect our thinking, but it'd be nice to have some idea.
All right.
The specs, they're pretty much the same.
And I see that Mac, that has a steering wheel on it.
It's a 0 turn, but it's
See a steering wheel instead of,
all wheel.
yes. Okay.
I don't know how people do I'm not that coordinated. My brain doesn't work that way.
It has the dual back wheels for stability and the front rims are weighted to help keep it down on, so it's not tipping back on both sides.
Mhm.
So it sounds like we need more information before we,
Yeah, and give us more thought about that tractor. Do we really need to keep that? I mean, is that something we
should have or not?
I haven't used it a lot in a year, a little over a year I've been here, other than for the snow blower, which you could get a snow blower for the skid loader.
Yeah, you gotta back up with the snow blower with that, don't you?
With the
No.
tractor,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the back, yeah.
I mean, it's not in everybody's yard, so it's not the most convenient thing. And that.
They had the bat wing with it, but I don't know what they were mowing with that before.
Ditches, I believe.
Mhm. Yeah, well, maybe we're doing that.
Yeah, well,
Didn't mow the ditches with it this year. The county just seems to do it when they go through town. Or somebody's doing it. I didn't, I mean, I mowed everything that I was mowing, like turf height, I was able to do it the
Mhm.
zero turn. As far as rough mowing, I didn't do anything of it. We were maintaining.
all right, well, we'll come up with a plan. We'll have something ready for the March meeting. Everybody good on that one?
Mhm.
All right, that brings us to the park project update. So Rebecca and I met last Friday with several representatives from HR Green, as well as a partner that they often work with on playground equipment, as well as like even the surfacing for courts and modular pavilions and all sorts of stuff. Like they'd be a potential supplier for a lot of the things, a lot of the elements within the park. Did ask them to provide an updated rendering because we have made a couple of changes. So that is on page 35 of your packet. So primarily what you're going to see, we've pared back a lot of the landscaping. We did maintain the walking trail. We removed the grain bin silo that was up in the northwest corner. Just gotta give me a second, I get there. So what remains is 2 pickleball courts, the pavilion that will include 2 unisex restrooms as well as a drinking fountain. We did remove the like serving area. We had talked about having like almost concession stand like serving area where you could, so we took that out. We can still have a shelf in there with outlets and that kind of thing, but it won't have its own space, which is fine. That was kind of a high-end wish list item, but I have been adamant to maintain the restrooms because there's otherwise nothing out there.
Would that be a lockable?
Yes, so I've asked them to do time blocks so that we don't have to remember to unlock and lock them. They will be on timers. And they'll just kind of maintain themselves, which will be really nice.
I was like the electrical outlets and that for the, like.
Oh, yeah,
Is that gonna be open or is that gonna be,
we haven't gotten that far.
you haven't got that far,
No.
okay.
So we're still just trying to get pricing.
Okay.
And then we do have a playground area where the grain silo was. This will include, we're hoping it will include a hill slide. So that's basically a slide that's kind of embedded in the hill. So you don't have any stairs that go up to it. They just walk up the back of the hill and then you don't have to worry about them rolling out because it's just right there. And then some other smaller playground elements, possibly a swing set, maybe some kind of climbing element in there. We are not, the representative that was here told us about some deals and whatnot that they have on what they call deck and post, which is your traditional like playground equipment. We are not pursuing any deck and post playground equipment. They have that at the school, which is not that far, as well as out at the foundation. They would have those opportunities. So really trying to maintain a lot of green space for free play. Grading wise, you will see, it looks like a little V. They are maintaining a grade so that if we wanted to, we could project movies on the side of the fire station. It's kind of a great wall to do it, so there's just a slight incline down. The half basketball court was an ad, and we are putting it in there. It is optional right now, so it was one I asked them to try and fit it in. What does it look like from a budgetary standpoint? We really don't have a basketball space. I know the school has some hoops, but there's not really court space. It's pretty short. And then I'm not sure if those are adjustable or anything else like that, so. I was informed it would be to high school specifications and not the NBA, to which I said, then how will Caitlin Clark come play here? So we're under negotiation there, but I suppose maybe she can throw some funding our way too. and then like the walking trail throughout. What you'll see on page 36 of your packet, they are still fine tuning, the pricing. So as you'll notice under landscape, we took a lot of the trees out. We brought that down quite a bit. I'm not sure what the highlighted areas mean necessarily, if they're still trying to get an idea of what those are, but you'll notice that the basketball court is added as an add alternate. So when we do go out for bid, they're gonna bid it with and without the basketball court. So that is an alternate that we can choose to add in. Any questions on the park project?
Nice price on a pickleball court though. You know, I thought the pavilion would probably be a top dollar thing out there.
So the pavilion, we did scale it back just a little bit, just size wise. I don't know how proportional it is on the drawing itself. And then it's basically a kit. So again, this provider, it's pre-engineered, pre-built.
Just have somebody build it.
They just have to assemble it. So,
6 picnic tables in there,
yes.
so that's average size, normal picnic tables.
Yeah.
So
So I figure you
it's
can,
not huge then,
no,
it's nice size.
it's nice size.
Okay.
And again, that is 2 pickleball courts, everything we're hearing. I say, if you're gonna do one, you better do 2. So, this is kind of where we're at. We are over budget. So we're still doing some creative engineering. Some of that's around, the walking path, whether we do concrete, pave it with asphalt, just do, like, I don't remember, loose material. I don't remember what they called it. But like out at the foundation where,
Pressure rocker. Cinder sort of type.
yeah. So they're still doing some value engineering. I did ask, this is preliminary, but I wanted to have something for y'all to see tonight, so.
My only question, and I'm just curious with the pickleball courts and the basketball court with it being asphalt versus concrete, I know it could be a little bit more money. I don't know. At one time, it was almost a whitewash out, I think.
So
And I don't know what, you know,
that's just the base, is an asphalt base. And then they have the surfacing on top of it.
okay.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't explain that.
Okay.
And they said the asphalt holds up. I don't remember what their
Holds the-
explanation,
holds
as
the
a
base
as a
better.
base, it holds
Oh, okay.
just fine, because there's still rock underneath of it and
Oh,
then the
okay.
asphalt.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're still surfacing.
That makes it, yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
So I think, I don't have the timeline in front of me. I believe they're gonna have something for us to approve in March so that this can go out for bid shortly after that. I believe it is an escalated timeline. They are reflecting an updated budget of 400,000. That is contingent upon us being able to use our LMI dollars. Vicky had a meeting with Spear yesterday. I haven't had a chance to talk with her. So we'll talk about that during our budget hearing as well, just to make sure that those funds are available. And I'm just gonna be really honest. This year's budget, we budgeted 350,000. Most of that was out of local option sales tax. For a class that Vicky was attending, she pulled the budget language or the ballot language for when that local option sales tax was passed. And it does say that 50% is to be used for property tax relief and 50% for infrastructure. So we are confirming with our attorney just to ensure that these funds are that even the 350 is available for this project. So just a heads up to y'all, I don't want any surprises. If that funding's not available, this whole thing's a no-go. So we are confirming, he did not get back to us in time for tonight's meeting, so hopefully we'll have it by the budget hearing. But we just want to make sure we're using those funds as intended. I think we're good. I mean, from everything that I've kind of been reading, but it's pretty squishy. So we checked with the Department of Management and they said it's best to get your attorney's opinion, so.
So the trees shown here, is that?
I think it's just for decoration on the rendering.
Okay, I mean, is there gonna be 5 trees or 10 trees or?
I think that's where we would like to see them. I don't know if they'll be actually part of initial project because there are so many opportunities with Arbor Day, Trees Forever, yeah.
Yeah, we could put them ourselves.
Real plantings.
Yep, exactly. So there's a lot of opportunity for trees, in addition to, volunteer work, to your point. We could put them in ourselves or have a volunteer day with the scouts or something and they can help us.
I think that first quote we had, it was like, wasn't it like $600 a tree or something like that? It was crazy.
I think this is 500 a tree.
Yeah, that's still, yeah. Well, but by the time you buy a tree and get haul it in, yeah.
I did also say, so on the playground area, we talked about surfacing, cause they've got, the rubber surface, you've got all sorts of different options for surfacing, cause we do want to be ADA compliant. There is a local supplier that does loose material. It's, well, they have it in here as shredded fiber, but they're not wood chips, but they are specific for playgrounds, specifically engineered. And so I know that's, pretty easy to work with, so we did ask them to build that in versus.
What they used to have at the school, kind of almost like a shredded tire sort of thing?
No, these are more wood chip, but they're shredded down even finer, is my understanding. They're specially engineered for playgrounds.
Would there be any opportunity for us to do sponsorship or naming rights on the shelter?
Yes, I'm gonna say yes, but I don't love that word, but, our timeline's pretty tight. And I will say, both from experience recently with our fire station project, as well as the school fundraising for the playground project, it may not get us very far. And that's probably something we should have started like a year ago. If we want to start construction this year, if we're willing to move a timeline,
Well, I mean, if the goalpost gets moved with us with the, with the budget,
yes.
then we just have to start looking along those lines.
Yeah, there could be pavers, there could be, yeah, I think we've got opportunities. All right, any other questions on the park? So we will continue to meet with them, bring you updates, and like I said, I think their plan is to be at the March meeting, but I will confirm that. Questions? Brings us to final comments. I will start to my left with Counselor Myers.
Nothing at this time.
Counselor West,
No, nothing.
Counselor Sukup,
Nothing.
Counselor Bosenberg,
Nothing.
Counselor Trellman,
I just like to see the project making a little more progress all the time.
Mac, anything?
Nope.
Rebecca?
No.
Ladies? Alright. I will confirm the date and time of our next regular meeting is March 13th, 2025 at 7 PM. But please remember, we did approve a budget workshop for February 24th, 2025 at 6 PM. And I would seek a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by West. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sukup. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned at 8:24 PM.